This isn't exactly the first time I've encountered this kind of bullshit article in a newspaper or from a TV station. How much is a housewife worth? And this comes from the formerly highbrow rag in Britain, the Telegraph, the Daily Telegraph. And it used to be highbrow, but now it's just a rag, and it's just peddling the same feminism as the rest of them, as far as I can make out. And it poses the question, and it says there are more than 2 million housewives in the UK, but do they deserve a wage for their efforts? The obvious answer to that absolutely stupid, ridiculous, childish question from the authoress is no, they don't. They get a wage automatically from their husband. They stay in to do their work. He goes out to do his. They work together as a team. It's called symbiosis. Have you ever heard the fucking word? Anyway, Olivia Goldhill, who penned this shit in 2014, 15th of October, starts off by saying the hardest job in the world is being a mum. No, it isn't. That's bullshit. Definitely arguable. And if it were a salaried position, it'd be one of the highest paid too. Oh, she says best paid. Well, no, it wouldn't be. The housewife gets, I would suggest, on average, she should get half of what her husband earns, but of course women spend, on average, as we all know, over 80% of the family income. Anyway, I'm going to skip that and continue. She says the value of a housewife has come into dispute recently as a mother of two is arguing that she deserves a higher divorce payout because she says she gave up a lucrative career to look after the family. Yeah, sure, that's an individual case, and these cases do happen. And I do sympathise with the women in some of those cases. But she continues, and this is where she starts talking, as far as I'm concerned, shit. But leaving aside questions of missing earned potentials, housewives deserve a substantial salary in their own right. Who's going to pay it, Olivia? Where's the money coming from? Where's it coming from? The government, i.e. the taxpayer, i.e. the single man, the single woman, the married couple who aren't going to buy into this shit? They should pay taxes so that you can have what? Some kind of communist shit going on? It sounds more capitalist when she comes to the conclusion that the average housewife, this is in the next paragraph, I'll leave a link in the comment section, the average housewife deserves, this is her quote, deserves an annual salary of £159,000, £137 a week. In other words, it's got us £160,000. Where's that? Oh, fuck it. And then if you've experienced these bullshit articles before by the likes of, what was her name, Olivia? Is that what I said? I'm not even looking up to the... Anyway, here's how we've calculated housewives' appropriate salary. So you, the authoress, you didn't do it on your own? Who helped you? Anyway, she says, private chef. It's fair to say that housewives earn the title of head personal chef. Yeah, but they're not private chefs. They're just cooks. I cook my own food. Should someone pay me to do that? And she blabbers on and says that according to the National Careers Service, oh, she's done her research, private chefs, housewives aren't private chefs, you silly woman. But she says they can expect to earn £30,000 a year. Yes, by doing a 24-hour fucking, well, that's their job. Being a private chef, £30,000 a year. I'm gonna make this quick now. House cleaner, okay, £6.86 an hour. That adds up to £6,500. Well, she says 6,400. Let's call it 6,500. On top of your 30,000. So she's a full-time private chef, a part-time house house cleaner, a live-in nanny at £20,800 a year, A living nanny should do the whole fucking lot. Look after the kids, do the cooking, as the private chef, do the house cleaning. Then she gets the driver. You knew that was coming. Private chauffeur. That's their favourite one. Doing the school run. I did one of my first videos was about this. Yeah, apparently doing the school run for women is an arduous chore. It's fucking awful. Yeah, they can get up at what time they fucking want, swan around, have a nice cup of coffee. Husband has to go to work at 6:30 in the morning. They don't give a shit. Take their time. The kids get dressed themselves. Then she chauffeurs them to the school gates, which are like 10 minutes down the road. The kids should walk. And then she considers herself to be some kind of private chauffeur on a wage of £24,860. Look, let's just round it up. £25,000 a year. So the average woman, I've witnessed a school run. It makes me sick because these brainless bitches whose kids could walk to and from school easily enough are competing with each other because they're all terrified of what the others may think of them if they don't pick their kids up from school and take them to school. It's ridiculous. They block the roads. They stop people walking their dogs. They fuck things up. And they probably crash like fuck as well. So, so £25,000 apparently to do the school run, despite the fact that at least one survey I've seen shows that men drive on average 3 times more hours a week or a year than women do. They do the family holiday run, but none of that's taken into consideration, and fuck the man and his work. Right, I've gone off on a tangent almost. Laundry and ironing, so that's over £3,500 a year, that apparently the average housewife should get paid for that. Like I say, by fuck knows who. Right, I'm going to cut through the rest of it ASAP. Private nurse, she should add £5,500 almost. Well, it's 5,500, 5,000, almost 5,400. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? This article is such bullshit. I don't mind getting it slightly wrong. Therapist, £24,645 a year. Personal assistant, £22,500 a year. Tutor, £20,770 a year. Add it to the total. She blabbers. So even what I've got looking at here, I can't see the whole page. It's £3,500 for this, £5,500 for that, £26,500 for this, £22,500, £20,000 for fucking what? And she finishes off this utter bullshit argument. Of course, she says, these are only vague estimates to the total worth of a housewife. I wonder how many guys who've never got married are starting to wonder, is it worth, I mean, you've got to be out of your fucking mind to get married anyway. But remember, women read this shit, they believe it, they regard themselves as undervalued precisely because of this shit and the rest of the shit that they read. And then they become hypergamous. They think that they're owed a living, that men owe them even more. And all this shit. What did I say at the beginning? £156,000, whatever the fuck it was. It's absolute bullshit anyway. A housewife shouldn't get paid a penny. She should have a joint account with her husband, who doesn't earn, on average, anywhere near that much. But no, this is where your hypergamy comes from. And this bitch, if you listen to this is to the woman who wrote the article, this is why so many men are becoming so sick and fucking tired of your hypergamous bullshit. Fuck you and fuck hypergamous women. Thank you.